Hello, this is just a chat about different distros, different Linux distros. I am in a virtual space, but I am looking at GNOME OpenSUSE here. Even though this, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I'm just gonna uh, uh, discover. It looks exactly like any GNOME. Discover stuff about uh, this distro because I never installed it. And talk about alternatives we have. So let's start. So here's the yes, the infamous yes, they say. Let's look at it. Yes, server. Oh, wait. This is the yes location. Ah, never. I don't know what that is. Let's cancel. Anyway, the point of the talk today is that I I had this strange struggle lately with I have a few computers I still have that those are my own computers, and I had an extra computer a while ago, and I didn't know what to put on it. I didn't want, definitely did not want to put Windows on it. It actually originally came with Windows, um, and I have an Ubuntu laptop, and I had a Zoran laptop. I have on my 11-inch uh, Spire Dells. I running Zoran on it, which I actually like Zoran a lot, and I think because of it's a GNOME. And I have, let's go back to here. I have Fedora Budgie, which is amazing, and I have a Fedora Budgie on a what is it? On a formerly Chromebook, an old Chromebook that I bought actually to refurbish for someone, but we decided that she needed a better machine, so I kept it, and we went with a different machine. But I stuck, and I got this Chromebook, and I didn't know what to do with it, and it had only 15 gig of space, and I experiment with it. I actually put the budgie IOT MX Fluxbox. I put I think Qt Linux, and and I settled for budgie. And the minute I put budgie in, it worked. And the reason budgie worked because budgie, even though it looked like a Windows 10, it really you know have that GNOME background. So uh, that's why I thought it's which allow me, especially for me, allow me to configure it easier, allow me to I hook sometimes my internet through a proxy internet. Many other distros unfortunately don't have that ability. Windows does, but not, it's not Linux. But from my experience, and I've been running Linux for now, going on over 2 years, or maybe 3 years, um, and I find that GNOME and Budgie uh, and what else? Uh, there is the other one. I can't think of it. They have the right tools to configure your network to a proxy. But I also like, however, you can run a proxy on, if you have, like I have a very old machine that I love, but I think probably was my first one of my first Linux computers that I bought. I bought two, two computers to try Linux very very cheap. One of them was $10, and I actually I ran yesterday on it, and I coded on it too. Uh, it had MX Linux, NTX, and I can't run my internet through a proxy. But if I choose to do that, I will do it through the proxy in the browser, which is Chromium browser cannot do that, but Firefox can. So that is a nugget of wisdom for all who are interested in proxy internet, which is give you a little bit more privacy. Okay, so here is so this is what I. Oh yeah, and I went and I installed this beautiful uh, 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 what is it? This beautiful distro, Elementary OS, and it worked. It worked. I didn't like few things about it. I didn't like that the the browser you can't delete. So I didn't know what kind of freaking browser they have, but I couldn't delete it. They make it, um, the proxy, even though because it is a gnome, but actually it looked like a like most of the budgie uh, desktops. But anyway, all of them are the same family, gnome and budgie. But uh, it didn't also do very well with my proxy. I did configure the proxy, which have the tools for it, but it didn't respond. I don't know if the version I installed had a effect. However, I didn't keep it for that long. Usually with Linux, you can configure anything if you want to, but I just didn't feel like I want to keep it, so I did not keep it. It was one of the things that I didn't like was the fact that I couldn't delete things. So they had things you have to delete, you can't delete. Um, and I actually also I wanted to buy it because I wanted to help them, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because I thought let me try it first, and I am kind of glad I didn't, because that will be, even though I was not gonna, they give you the option to buy it with uh, with uh, with whatever you can, which is very nice. Um, it's still, even if it's $1, if you're not gonna keep the distro for like an hour, it's not worth it. It is not a bad distro. Nevertheless, beside that, however, I did go through Ubuntu, and it opened exactly like. Uh, so when you open the panel, it'll open exactly like what we call this one, elementary. So it opened exactly like elementary, and actually it have more variety than elementary, and I thought it was great, and I thinking I'm gonna settle with this one on my computer. Budgie is known to have to be better, I guess, for older computers. It's but I think GNOME, to be honest, is it can run very good on older computers. I don't have, like, I think the newest computer is like 2 years old, the one I have, but I running for example, this computer that we're filming on is 2017. It have terabyte of, I'm not gonna sell it. It have terabyte of solid state drive. It have a very good good enough CPU. It have 16 gig of RAM. So, and it runs very good. So most of the computers you can run on GNOME and Budgie and all these on on a computer that have 4 gig or maybe 2 gig of RAM, to be honest. If you can make a swap file, but you can run 4 gig of RAM, which most computers, you know, 15 years and up have those. And if you have a good enough CPU that dual core, if it's a dual core, if you have 2 gigahertz and up, you're good. If you have a 4 core, not 4 threads, 4 core, if you have 1 gigahertz and up, your computer usually run very good. And so of course, I'm gonna always say that if you have a very very old computer, uh, NTX MX Linux will do wonderful. NTX, if it's very old, it will run great. It will run better than a new computer. It's amazing how much software how much software can help us. And to be honest, most of us, I know most people, most young people who are you know, they want the computer to run games and stuff like that, which does require resources. But there's a big population, you know, that are older. Um, Before I transitioned to become like a little bit of a techie person, I did not. I actually I lived without a computer for like 10 years at some point of my life, and the only thing I use it for is like to write a document when I got a computer after that, you know, or to send an email, maybe look for a job, watch YouTube, and you don't have to go throw your computer out to get something that is, you know, that gonna do the same thing as your old computer. Um, and okay, let's go back to. Oh, this receipt closed. Logged us out. That's fine. Oh yeah, let's talk about Zorin. Zorin, in my opinion, it's great because it have the feel of Windows 10, and yeah, Windows 10, like let's say, and it is actually kind of like the FXC, to be honest, but like it have that traditional menu, but it is GNOME. Uh, I myself, when I run GNOME on my main machine, the one, if you only have one machine, and if it's good enough, and you wanna run something on it, I would say go with Debian, because Debian is amazing, but you have to kind of configure a few things. You have to install extensions and change the how it look to suit you, because in my opinion, a good distribution have to have few things. First, it have to run everything fine, meaning running your internet fast, your applications good, no glitches, they don't break, your drivers, your sound, your keyboard, and all this jazz. That's one. Uh, the second thing a good distribution have to do is to allow you to, especially if you are a person who work on a computer, not just do one task at a time. Allow you to store things in the bar or in the dock, so you can have quick access to, because if you get at the GNOME, for example, this will be always hidden. You have to click here for the dock to show. You have to get, if you get like a pure GNOME, like a Debian GNOME, actually OpenSUSE, the one we were looking at earlier, it is the same. So I assume you need extensions. So you need to get extensions and stuff like that. You know, uh, you know, like I like my bars to be here, like old school Linux. Um, well, who Ubuntu, plain Ubuntu still have that. NTX have that too. and but you need to have that. That is one other thing that you need to. Of course, you need your computer to work with what you have. With like if you run like me, most of the time internet through a proxy, you need your computer to have that ability. You can go and adjust the bash file, but sometimes it doesn't work. I did sometimes it works, sometimes doesn't. Sometimes that bash file is just not connected anywhere for some reason. Uh, you need you and of course if you're running Linux or any, you need a computer that give you all ownership of your machine, which mean unlike Windows, for example, where you renting the machine, and of course Chrome OS is you are completely renting your machine. If Google decide to cancel your account, let's say you are politically active and the government pressure Google to cancel the account, your Chrome machine won't work. So like it's that's bad, it's bad like that. So and one of the things that bug me, especially after being a Linux user for a few years, is the fact they didn't give you options. They didn't give you autonomy to delete things. Sometimes I get like, and that was a kind of red flag. That's why I uninstall elementary OS very fast. You know, like literally I installed it, looked around. The minute I found I couldn't get rid of this and it didn't respond with my proxy internet, I said that's it, it's done. I didn't want to give it a chance. Uh, a distro also, it's a good idea to have a distro that fit uh, your equipment. If my old Chromebook, the one I bought, that is I don't know how many years old, it is like more than 10, Acer or something, can run very very good, can run budgie very very good, better than a new Chromebook run Chrome. You know that show you that sometimes the problem is not with with materials, because with the physical equipment, because let's face it, you know like I'm an older person, so like I remember when you can run a computer on 500 megabyte, you know and they ran, you play Doom and stuff like that, send an email, and even did we watch you? There was no YouTube then, but you can even watch, you know, some kind of videos. So, so like equipments, even if they are old equipments, they are still good enough for what you need. Of course, that doesn't apply if you're running bleeding edge, you know. But if I can like run and code on a 1.6 gigahertz laptop from 2008, you know, Levon, yeah, ThinkPad from 2008, fine, and watch YouTube at the same time, or had it play in the background at the same time. Uh, well, that means maybe the equipments are not the issue at this point. So this was our chat. Yeah, uh, I am really becoming more and more in love with Linux. Unlike I know it's not very cool to say that you like gnome environment. I like gnome. Budgie, I like budgie. And there's another one from that is very similar. I forgot what it's called, but but the budgie is cool because the menu, you can click on it and you can open it as a traditional menu, or you can open it as a gnome menu with icons like So that was cool. I like that. Of course, you know, uh, Zoran, you know, I love that. However, I want to say one more thing since we are just talking here. Um, I am aware of like, they give Ubuntu crap for the snaps, and they should because it's not, as far as I know, it's not a complete open source. It's only GNOME, it's only Ubuntu, but most distros use flatpaks, and kind of this is annoying a little bit for me. I use my main machine, the one I use is Debian, um, and it's most of the stuff I installed on .deb. They run fast, and they made that machine, which is I think 7 years old machine, maybe, or 8 years old. It ran very good on that, and I think like extra complexity. I know it's like an idea of it is uh, you know, um, sandboxing your computer to prevent viruses and stuff. And I'm sure it does have uh, benefits, but really, for most of us, if you get something bad on your computer, something that you downloaded, or it was like a phishing thing, or you know and no amount of sandboxing will make you safe, and after all, you know but it does help. I'm not saying it doesn't, but this is the kind of like becoming like a selling point, like similar to you go buy a car, a large car, and they used to tell you a large car is safer. I mean, it's safer for you, maybe the driver, but not the other driver. But now everybody have large car, so are we safer as drivers? But anyway, so that is one other thing. So like I find one of the things I find that made me go back to Ubuntu a little bit. Like at least I have two machines that have Ubuntu's. Um, one have a dual core with Windows, and the other one had the budgie. Is the fact that flatback snaps. What's the difference? They say flatback is faster. I don't think they are as fast. I mean, I didn't time them, but like they look the same speed. You know, what's wrong with .deb or you know files, just traditional files. Nevertheless, that is the ramble today, and I hope you you guys are having a good day. Bye.